Hey, what's going on, guys? Lag here, and thank you for joining me today for a Nioh 2 build video. Alright guys, in today's video I would like to share with you all my Odachi build stats and the current gear I'm using on my on my build. And here are my stats as follows, guys. I finally reached 300. Finally got there, man. Your stats don't necessarily have to be like mine in terms of everything else except strength, but I would recommend, if you decide to do this build or try it out or whatnot, I would recommend having at least 90 in strength, because the Odachi skills normally offer strength, and you'll get the higher attack modifier off of strength, so. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the pieces I'm using in my build. So for this build, guys, I'm starting off with my Odachi. I'm using a relatively low Odachi right now, and I just haven't gotten around to scaling it up to +5. But this Odachi, and the reason I like it so much for this build by working around paralysis, because you get that extra 29% melee damage when the enemy is paralyzed. So bearing in mind, that's just the weapon itself, and that's not counting all the other pieces I'm going to show you, where you're getting, all in all, I'm getting almost 120% extra close combat with this build for enemies that are paralyzed. And going to my next set, well, my first set that I'm using Kingos. And the reason I'm using Kingos is, Kingos is definitely a good set in terms of raw damage, and just to give me a bit more oomph, in my attacks, especially when I get behind an enemy. That's why I like that 5th piece bonus on the bottom. And your sword doesn't necessarily have to look like this. I'm just using this sword just to get the bonus, so it's nothing special. Alright, and going down to my first piece of armor, I'm using the Malefactor's set. And if you haven't used this set yet, guys, this set offers you, for the 3-piece bonus, 40% extra melee damage against paralyzed enemies, which is pretty substantial. And between this helmet and this sword, that's roughly 70% right there. Now, ideally also, guys, if you can, try to make sure you roll attack on your armor if you have any inheritables. I do have about 6 or 7 of them, but I don't have enough glue to roll them. So I just wanted to go ahead and test this build out without those right now. But once I get those on my build, that's that much more extra damage. And your chest piece, you know, ideally again, you want to put attack on the inheritable slot if you can. Also too, in case you guys didn't know, you can enroll increased attack and defense on your chest piece as well. I just didn't roll this chest piece. I just basically forgot, so it doesn't have to look like that. And for the healing factor, you know, yes, you definitely want to use life recovery. So, alright, for my gloves, I'm using toughness, attack, tenacity to keep from dying if I catch on fire or, you know, poison or something like that. And again, another spot for you to roll attack on your armor if you have the inheritable gloves. Alright, so that's basically all for my armor. You know, again, if you have inheritable attack on your gloves to get a bit more damage on your Odachi, you definitely want to make sure you go ahead and roll that over to your armor. Alright. And going down to my next two important pieces with the paralysis buildup and extra melee damage is my charms, of course. And as you can see on the bottom, I get 12% extra accumulation, along with another 24.9% extra close combat against melee. Against paralyzed enemies. That's so much, man. That is so much. And then also I have roughly the same thing on my Yasukani. Yep. And going to my Guardian Spirit, guys, let me go there for a moment and show you something in case you didn't know. So going to my Guardian Spirit, as you can see, I'm still using Tenjin, and the reason I like to use Tenjin is due to his bonuses he offers you when you're in different stances. Speaking of the Odachi, if you're in high stance and with Tenjin, you get a damage boost. And I actually play with the Odachi like that a lot anyway, so. Now, for my cores, the main one I would like for you to pay attention to mainly is Karakasha. And that's the little umbrella that paralyzes you in the game if you get too close to him or whatnot. And his particular bonus, here, let me show you in case you guys didn't know. His particular bonus also gives you extra paralysis accumulation, which acts as a passive. So, you know, there you go. That's a lot. That's roughly about, what, 40 to 50% of extra accumulation that you're going to get on a paralysis build. You know, so that's nice, man. That's really nice. Now, I haven't been really using this too much along with this build. And the reason is because I tried it a few times earlier against normal enemies. And for some reason, it didn't seem to give them that instant paralysis like I was expecting, especially against human enemies, like the ninjas and some of the basic samurai. I was expecting to just basically paralyze them instantly with this yōkai ability, but I didn't. So, but you know, it's nice to have anyway. And again, guys, I love Kasha, and the main reason I like Kasha is due to her bonus, which makes you move faster when you're absorbing that Rita. I feel like I feel like I can't go with any other core, you know, that doesn't have this bonus. But I mean, I can go with other cores, but hers, I feel like I have to have it. So, and for my secondary guardian, I'm not using Nokomoto. I'm using Shenruku. And that's basically, I'm using that because of the life drain on your strong attacks. And also, guys, let me show you right quick on my status sheet that 120% extra close combat I was telling you about. Well, actually, it's 119, but, you know, it's close enough. But, man, that is so much. I can only imagine this build with tonfas or dual blades. And there you have it right there. If you look in the middle, 51% accumulation. That is so much, man. Wow. Well, other than that, guys, that's my Odachi build. Hey, I tell you what. Let me show you one other thing, guys, that I'm using. My clan. And this is the clan. I almost forgot. This is the clan I'm using. Matsunaga, guys. The reason I'm using this clan is specifically for that melee damage against strong enemy. And I'm just basically testing this clan out, and it seems to be pretty good with the Odachi. I don't know how much extra damage you can get as as you continuously stay in this clan. I don't know what it'll go up to. If you guys are in this clan or know someone who's in it, find out how much from them do you get as a bonus in terms of melee damage. Alright, and that's about all, guys. Nothing else, about this build, nothing real special. It's just a big hitter, type of build. If you guys want to try this out with any other weapon, I recommend it because of the high accumulation you're gonna get, and you probably won't be able to get that 120% extra damage, unless you're using this Odachi. But still, 80 to 90%, that's got to be just as good with a fast-hitting weapon, like the tonfa or the Kasurigama or something like, the switchglaive, anything like that. So I imagine it'll still hit really good against paralyzed enemies, So, alright guys, if you have any comments, negative, positive, feel free to leave it. Let me know how this build can be improved, or if you feel like, you learned something. I'm all for learning about, anything you guys feel like you know more than me, and I'm not a cocky kind of individual, so. But alright guys, that's my build, man, and I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Hope you guys be safe, and catch y'all later.